Good Friday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center with a severe weather alert as we do have a severe thunderstorm warning here in play for parts of South Georgia. It goes until 8:15. Coffee County in our area seeing quite a bit of lightning with the action here. I just wanted to break in because it looks pretty robust here within our Doppler radar algorithms. Even on our other radar source, which I'm about to switch you over to, you kind of see what I'm talking about here. So let's go ahead and switch on over to our GR Level 3 computer. You see torrential downpours occurring in Coffee County this morning. So again, a nasty situation as we're looking here along US 441 in Coffee County, Georgia, right on the edge of me kind of cutting in or not cutting in based on the criteria. But I just wanted to go ahead and go on because I know a lot of you may be headed out to school this morning. It's just pretty nasty out there in towards South Georgia. So I see quite a bit of wind energy, maybe not quite as much as we were seeing a few minutes ago, but still just kind of coming on here for a few minutes to let you know what's happening here in South Georgia with a severe thunderstorm warning continuing for parts of Coffee County in our coverage area until 8:15 this morning, also in toward Jeff Davis County as well. That's just outside of the viewing area, but again, a really nasty storm situation here. Torrential rainfall rates occurring with this morning. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning in play until 8:15. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail possible, and even a tornado possible tag in here as well. Again, seeing some rotation that seems to have kind of weakened here in the last few frames. You could really see that there on the edge earlier. We were close to getting a tornado warning when obviously we would have to go on immediately for that type of threat. But that rotation has kind of weakened on off in the last few frames as that moved closer into Ward Douglas there, outside of warning polygons. That's some good news. But again, a severe thunderstorm warning does continue here for Broxton and Pridgeon here in our area, Ambrose as well, West Green. You kind of get the idea, just watching things very carefully here this morning as we look off toward the west. Some flash flood warnings in play. The one in our covered area is for Ben Hill and Irwin, so I wanted to come on for this as well because we've gotten some torrential rainfall rates here just in the last hour. Parts of northeastern Irwin County here getting over 3 inches of rain, so definitely causing some issues there. You see even Osceola there getting close to about 2.5, give or take, and more rain's falling. The rainfall rates have slacked off a little bit, which is some good news here. We're going to continue to watch things very carefully here in the Weather Center. We probably won't stay on with this based on areas of rotation here kind of weakening off for now. The wind energy may be a little bit weaker, but still we're right there on the edge of the covered area watching things here this morning. I do want to also see some strong storms impacting the Tallahassee area as well. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about over from this aspect here of our radar source. You can see here a little line moving through, maybe some gustier winds here at times moving through Leon County there. The significant weather advisory seems to have gone away there, or maybe just about 30 in Grady County there in southern Georgia. They zoom on in toward areas there south of Cairo. So again, going to continue to watch things here this morning. In fact, let's go ahead and pop up our FSU WeatherStem camera here. We'll kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on here this morning. You'll kind of see what's happening here as we look outside. It looks pretty dark. Pretty gloomy start. Luckily, though, the conditions toward Tallahassee start to get a little bit better. But as we look off toward the east, this is just kind of the beginning for our covered area today, it seems. With this, honestly, getting things going a little earlier. But the pattern has been to have some nasty weather somewhere here in this region early in the day, going back pretty much all week. So interesting to see that. But you see our marginal risk here. This is for later on today toward I-95 and then a lot more of southeastern Georgia, though, as well, included too. Damaging winds, maybe a little bit of large hail possible here as well. This is the damaging wind risk. This is the large hail risk, and I know this storm warning here up toward Coffee County actually includes the threat for some quarter-size hail. So something to kind of bear in mind here this morning as we are watching things. Again, no active tornado warning. This is in a rural area. Generally, I wouldn't break in for the rural aspect of things, but because of the bus stop aspect here, because just people headed out to work, and because of what we're seeing there, we were close to getting a tornado warning here, and we have a flash flood warning. It's kind of a situation where everything kind of comes together in the where I think I need to break in here despite it being over pretty rural areas. I know Ben Hill and Irwin are a little more populated there where the warning is for the flash flood threat. So that threat's starting to slack off a little bit. Those rainfall rates are slacking off some. So some good news here right there, just in that time range here, kind of getting things to come together just enough here to prompt me to break in. You see all that lightning. I know it probably sounds really bad. You don't want your kid at the bus stop there this morning, or you really don't want to head out right now around Ambrose or Broxton, because these are some very, very heavy downpours with the potential for some 60-mile-an-hour wind and maybe even some smaller hail mixing on in. So gotta be aware of that. There's your hail button. We can kind of pop that on up here as we're looking in toward this area. So we're going to continue to kind of monitor this as we look back over the last hour. You see there in toward northeastern parts of Irwin County, over 3 inches in that lighter red color, kind of telling a story. Temperatures falling off some with all this right around about 69 there at the Fitzgerald Municipal Airport. And then over the last 12 hours, you see some areas 3-4 inches, and outside of our viewing circle, you see central Georgia here, some spots getting upward to 8 inches there toward, it looks like Beckley, Dodge, Dooley, Houston, Pulaski counties, that general zone there, with a flash flood warning continuing to 9:45 and then 1 to 8:45 for parts of Beckley, as well as Dodge and Lawrence. So again, that's that side of area there, but right on the edge here, we have a couple warnings. A flash flood warning for parts of Ben Hill and Irwin, and then a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Coffee and then Jeff Davis, which is outside of our viewing area, Coffee in our area, Irwin, Ben Hill as well. So that warning for Irwin and Ben Hill, a flash flood warning until 9 a.m. Fitzgerald, Osceola, Mystic, we're talking about 1 to 3 inches of rain in an hour and an additional 1 to 3 inches possible. So storm total amounts closer to 6 inches here in that zone. And then off toward the east here, severe thunderstorm warning there. Going until about 8:15 for central Coffee County. Just got to be careful with that lightning threat. That really looks prominent there. Again, Ambrose, Broxton, even up toward Pridgeon, some of that as well. I mean, gonna have some smaller hail mixing in, I think, based on just the purple reflectivity values showing on up here this morning. So gotta be cognizant of that. Again, watching things. I know people are interested in that UF homecoming parade. Right now, things still look good for that in terms of the weather relatively, but things can change here. The models haven't been picking up on this stuff perfectly here, but right now, I think that might hold off in terms of the worst of the weather there as we're looking. But later on, storminess could impact things like your evening commute, high school football, so gotta be aware of that. We'll be back on if necessary later on today. But again, just wanted to break in. It's a kind of a marginal situation, a marginal risk here. But I thought we just had enough of a threat there to go ahead and come on for a few minutes there as we're watching things. And now watching that area in Grady County, Georgia as well. I think I'll switch over to the Tallahassee radar because off the Moody side, it's picking up a little bit stronger now, so I want to make sure we're not seeing a developing severe thunderstorm warning scenario there as we're getting toward Grady County. So just kind of watching things here this morning. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Coffee County here until 8:15 this morning as we get up toward the north, continuing to watch things there. And then a significant weather advisory toward parts of Decatur and Grady here. This going until it looks like about 7:45. And we do have a little bit of wind enhancement here. So let me go ahead and switch on over to our other source. You can see here Wiggum, just to the south of there, around it looks like as I get on in Merritt Road in here. We do have this severe thunderstorm threat here if this were to intensify, but right now it's a significant weather advisory here as the worst moves over toward it looks like State Highway 111 there. So again, going to continue to watch to see if that intensifies. Right now, values are the winds below severe limits, but watching toward Douglas, I know significant weather advisory there now with gusts to 40 in the city, but up toward the north, as we saw off the Moody site, maybe winds a little bit stronger than that. As we go back on over, we're able to look a little bit lower down toward the surface. So again, just watching things carefully. I think I'll go ahead and wrap up the coverage for now. But we're going to continue to monitor things, watching the situation there in Coffee County, Georgia. Severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. The worst stand just to the north of Douglas, and then a flash flood warning until 9 a.m. As we're getting in toward Irwin and Ben Hill counties. We're talking about the rainfall rate slacking off some, but still some spots there getting quite a bit of rain this morning, making things treacherous for that morning commute. So just got to be really careful here as we're looking toward those areas. But toward areas like Stark, Gainesville. You're just fine this morning. That's the good news, Jacksonville. But later on today, conditions could be a little bit nastier. And if we need to break back in later on, we will. If we don't need to, though, you always have cloudweather.com/radar for the latest information. Thanks so much for tuning in.